Episode of This Old House. I am in Paradise, California, home to the worst wildfire in California history and one of the worst fires in the United States in the past century. This town of Paradise was almost wiped off the map. But of the thousands of people who lost their homes, many are determined to come back, and Joe and Avonlea are two of those people. This is the house that Joe and Avonlea moved into 5 years before the fire. They remodeled, they painted the outside, they even put in a new kitchen. And then, in a matter of just a few hours, the home was gone. We've heard about Avonlea's harrowing trip to safety during the fire, but that was almost a year ago. 6 months after the blaze, Joe and Avonlea were among the first to apply for building permits. And as you can see, they are rebuilding what they've lost. Avonlea, good to see you again.
Hi, Kevin. Thank you for meeting me here.
Yeah, thank you for having us. This is some good progress, right?
It is. It feels like home.
That's good, right? And so the old home was basically right here.
It was. So the exterior was the exact same shape, but we did move things around a little bit in here just to kind of make it a little bit more modern.
Tell me about that. Give me a little tour.
So before, what we had was, when you came in, there was a living room that was a little narrower, and it stretched all the way through here for the dining room, and the kitchen was shifted over more. So it wasn't as open of a concept. So that is just the major change that we have made. And then we added 2 additional bedrooms.
So was the master always on this side of the house?
It was. So before, we had the master here, and there was a hallway that stretched through with a bathroom in the middle and the second bedroom on the end. It was more of a standard bedroom versus the master. So what we have added is we have this this door that goes out to the covered patio.
Yes.
And we had just a standard closet before. So walking through here, we now have an attached bathroom.
Oh, nice. So this space wasn't here.
No, it was not part of the bedroom. So what we've added is a nice closet for us. We did a herringbone marble floors to match the walk-in marble shower.
Luxurious. I love it.
So coming into the living room, it is wider than we had before, which is going to be nice space-wise. What we have also is we have 12-foot ceilings in our living room.
That'll help it make it feel bigger.
Yes, before it was only a standard 8-foot, so it's definitely going to be a lot bigger. Previously, over here, what we had was like a fireplace that was built in. So one thing we decided to do different is we have added a wood stove, because for us, with it getting cold, the fireplace took a lot of wood and it didn't produce as much heat, where the wood stove is just really gonna pump it out.
Stovepipe already through the roof right there, so it's gonna sit out here?
Yes.
And you'll do something to protect floor and walls in this corner?
We are. So as you guys know, Joey is a granite fabricator, so we're gonna be doing a granite hearth that is gonna flow and match what's in our kitchen.
Is he gonna do the work?
He is gonna do the work. I believe he's actually working on that today, if you guys would like to go down to a shop and check it out.
We'd love to. That'd be awesome. We will do that. Hey, Joe.
Hey.
Good to see you.
You too.
House is coming along.
It is.
That's good news. So this is your operation here, huh?
Yep.
You guys do it all?
We do it all. Fabrication, installation, tear out.
And this is the fabrication spot. Looks like you got slabs, looks like you got saws, tables, the whole deal.
Right.
So this is the template here?
Yep.
Tell me about it.
So this is an acrylic template. I made it here in shop last night.
So what am I looking at, Joe, the orientation-wise?
So the hearth, this is the back. That's a back wall.
Oh, so it's coming out of the corner, right?
Yep. This is the front and the clip.
Stove will be facing into the room this way.
It will be.
So this is just a connect the dots exercise.
It is. You mark the corners, and then a straight edge will cut them.
And what is the stone? I wouldn't even have thought this was granite. This is beautiful.
This is a piece of quartzite. It's a really hard piece of stone, more fire resistant than granite, so it's going to do a good job for the fireplace.
So what does it feel like to you to sort of contribute to rebuilding your own house, to have something you made go into the home?
Well, I like that I'm doing the granite. The granite's something I know how to do. I've been doing it a long time, so it's going to be really nice when it's done.
Okay, so let's just take a look at it. Front right here, back corner right there. That is looking pretty sweet.
Yeah, it is. I like it. We can go ahead and let go.
All All right, I am flush the baseboard and off the back wall just a little bit.
Same, flushing there, it's where I want it.
Yep, that's gonna look real good, right?
Yeah, it is.
California fire codes were strict before the fire, but since then they've only gotten tougher. Since 2011, any new house built in all of California must have a residential fire sprinkler system. Now here's another new house going up here in Paradise, and today is sprinkler day. Rick Fox and his family have been the sprinkler experts around these parts for a long time. So Rick, I gotta ask you to start. A fire sprinkler system like this is no match for the kind of wildfires we had here, right?
Absolutely not. This system is designed for buying you time to get out of the house.
Right. It's to save people. It's a life-saving device.
Exactly.
All right. Now, where do you start in the process? How do you get rolling?
Well, where we start is their builder will give us a set of plans.
Okay.
And from that, we will design the sprinkler system according to the code for the garage.
So here's the garage. I just came in. Here's where we are, the living room, and I
Right.
see there's two heads right here. Now, how do you determine that? Why two?
Well, these heads have an 8-foot spray, so I know that that head will spray and cover to here, and I know that head will spray and cover to here.
Now, does every single room need to have a head?
Not every room. Bathrooms under 55 square feet don't require one, but we put one in a bathroom because you can start a fire in a bathroom just as easy as anywhere else.
Bathroom could have a curling iron, could have a hairdryer, all
Correct.
kinds of things that could start a fire.
Small closets don't require them unless they're 3 feet or deeper.
All right. So I see your parts and pieces here. This is what type of tubing here are you using?
This is a CPVC rated for fire
It
sprinklers
says right on it for fire sprinkler pipe. Why is this the better choice?
because it has a fire retardant in there, so it will last longer in a fire.
So you got all kinds of T's, elbows, couplings. I see a glue here. It's just like CPVC glue. Okay. And how about the pendants? How about the heads?
So what we have here is an upright head. That head would be used in an attic above a furnace.
Because that's a source of flame.
Right.
I see the little bulb here. Once the temperature is achieved there, the bulb breaks.
Right.
And water sprays up through the deflector.
Right.
All right, so that's up in the attic. How about the white one?
The white one would go in the garage, and it would hang down as a pendant.
So you'd still see it again with the bulb right here, still exposed. How about this one?
This here is a two-piece concealed head.
I love these. So this is all the consumer sees up against the sheetrock right here. And so the little temperature comes here. The cover will drop away, and when it does, it'll now let this pendant drop. And you see up inside here, the red bulb? That will let go. Water hits the deflector and put the fire out.
Correct.
Perfect. All right, so are we ready to turn the system on yet?
I have one more head to install, and then we are.
So you need pipe dope or Teflon tape on this?
No, no. I have a torque safe head adapter.
The torque safe, what does that mean?
That means you can't over tighten it.
All right, so all the pipe is run, all the heads are in. What's left for you?
Testing. First, we put air to make sure there's no leaks,
Okay.
and then water.
All right, so once the water's in, can we actually see one of these heads release?
For you, yeah.
All right, with a propane torch, we'll simulate fire. At 135 degrees, that white cover will drop off. At 155, the bulb will go, and you can see, look at that. So now it's completely gone around to do the whole room. And also notice that only one sprinkler head went off. People think they all go off, and they don't. If this had been a fire, I would have been able to get out of the building and would have put the fire out. Hey, the test is over. Turn the water off.
A year after the disaster in Paradise, California continues to struggle with wildfires. To help understand how they spread, CAL FIRE uses something called a sim table to visualize how these fires grow. Chief Garrett Sholin was in charge on that day last year. All right, so what are we looking at? Where are we?
So we have here is Paradise is right in the middle of the map.
Yep.
There's 4 major roads that come out of the town of Paradise here as it leads into the valley. And then over here we have the town of Chico. And then back towards us here is the Sierra Nevada foothills, and as we get into the higher country, up into this community of Polga.
Okay, and Polga is where it all begins, the morning of November 8th. What time?
So about 6:30 in the morning, Feather River Canyon here is very steep. We've got about a 1,500-foot elevation change from the community of Polga all the way to the top of the mountain. And the fire starts right below some high-tension power lines just up from the community of Polga, as you can see there.
This is remarkable. And so now your projector is actually projecting the progression of the fire.
Yes, it's showing you how fast it's going. Real windy. We got 20-mile-an-hour winds coming down this canyon that's hitting this wall right here in this very steep polga drainage. And then it is progressing with gusts up to 40 as it comes up into the top of this mountain right here.
Wow, okay. So at this point, it's moving fast, coming up these hills, and it is headed west.
Yeah, and it's really interesting at this point here, we have these numerous spot fires, as you can see out here. This is about 4 miles from the start of the fire, and then we had numerous spots even getting into the below the town of Paradise.
And they are being caused by airborne embers being thrown ahead of the fire?
That's right. So we're looking at a total of about 7 miles from where this main fire is right now until the edge of Paradise.
So now this first road's involved right now?
Right. This is about an hour into the fires where this you can see the edge of the fires hitting the edge of Paradise here right now. And so this is really begins the first true firefight of fire resources and saving people's lives is on this edge of town here.
Wow, okay. And so as it progresses, I would imagine things are getting really hairy.
They are. So a fire is starting to get more and more established into the town, and folks are looking to shelter in place. Temporary refuge areas are starting to be utilized by our fire personnel and gathering up locals and individuals that can't get out, getting them into a safe, clear area such as a parking lot or a large building until the fire front passes, and then they're safe to exit.
That is making the hair on my neck stand up. Paradise is completely engulfed. It is completely surrounded.
Yeah.
Are you no longer fighting this fire and strictly involved with evacuation?
Correct. We were strictly in rescuing people and keeping evacuation routes open. Those are the 2 objectives set by the incident commander of the fire that morning.
So let's see this progress over the course of a day. We know it is a fast-moving fire because of these winds and the dry conditions and the time of year.
Right. Correct.
All of our escape routes are now involved.
Yep, they're cut off, and so there's a lot of sheltering in place. This fire has grown substantially.
And in terms of how this compares to other fires in California, or that you guys have either seen or studied, how fast is this moving?
It's set the record now. It's off the charts. It was definitely something we've never seen before in California's fire history.
It is a monster. We are not even a half a day, 2/3 of a day away from when it started back here, and Paradise is lost.
Yep.
It is a powerful thing to see, so thank you for showing that to us, and thank you for being on duty that day.
You betcha, Kevin.
In wildfires, embers are the enemies of houses. So here in Paradise, new codes have been designed to keep the fuel for those embers away from the houses. The code is divided into 2 zones. In Zone 1, you want to separate trees and shrubs from other flammable items. Remove dead plants, grass, and weeds. Remove any tree branches that overhang your roof, and keep dead branches at least 10 feet from your chimney. You should prune or remove flammable plants or shrubs near the windows or decks, as well as trim trees to keep branches 10 feet away from other trees. In Zone 2, you need to create horizontal space between trees and shrubs, keep lawns trimmed down to 4 inches, remove fallen debris from below trees if it's more than 3 inches deep, and remove bottom branches from all large trees 6 feet from the ground. Derek is a local landscaper working at Luke and Crystal's house. Hey, Derek.
Hello, how you doing today?
Good to see you. So you want to tell us a little bit about planting in defensible spaces?
Yeah, what we're doing is we're going ahead and spacing the plants out just a little bit farther apart.
Okay, so they're not touching when they fully grow?
Exactly,
All
exactly.
Right. And then is there a certain amount of feet you have to plant away from the house?
Yeah, we want to go ahead and keep the plants away from the house far enough to where when they mature, there's a gap between the plants and the house itself. And then instead of using a bark mulch, we'll end up using a rock mulch.
Okay.
So that it's as fireproof as possible.
Right, so let's just take a walk around and see what you guys are doing.
Yeah, they're putting in drip system. The drip is going to go ahead and be placed in underneath the rock mulch. There will be emitters at every one of the plants to go ahead and water the plants individually.
So maybe like 3 inches down?
Correct.
Okay. And that'll help conserve the water. It'll go right to the roots.
Right,
so, yeah,
right.
so that's good.
Green grass, especially if it's watered, is much more fire resistant.
Okay, so what do you have for trees on site here?
This is a red maple. It'll grow up to about 25 feet tall, have a 15-foot canopy. The purpose of this tree here is to give us a little bit of shade in the afternoon, protect the house a little bit, but not have a tree that's going to be too big and overbearing. So.
Right, and be on top of the house.
Exactly.
So you have to keep it a certain amount of feet. Is this new that you have to have it further away? with the new ordinance.
Correct. You're going to be at least 15 feet away. 20 feet or 30 feet would be even better. This one's grown for its fall colors. It has a nice canopy on it, real good leaf during the summertime, but in the fall,
that's a good one
it
in
has
New
a
England
real
as
nice
well.
color. Yeah,
But we don't get to have these in Boston.
Yeah, and the crepe myrtle is going to give us some beautiful flowers during the summertime.
That'll be nice to give the color.
Yeah, exactly.
So in the Northeast, we try to pull plants off the foundation to keep moisture away from the house. Here, it's a little different.
We're doing it for fire protection here.
Right, so all that fuel gets pulled away from the house. And so I think Luke and Crystal are gonna have an amazing new landscape. It's gonna be not too bad to maintain, and it'll just be safer.
It will be.
So,
I think they're gonna really enjoy it.
Great job.
Hey,
Nice
thank you
to meet
very much. All righty.
Take care.
Bye.
The last time we saw Brett Whalen, he was showing us techniques that he uses to make houses safe against fire. He also showed us a vent system that closes from the heat. Brandon is going to show us how they work.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Brandon, how are you?
How you doing?
All right, so what do you have here?
Well, we have this non-combustible rig that we've set up. It's a simulation of a exterior house and an inside attic.
Okay, so we have the front wall or the back wall here with a soffit, and that represents the roof.
Correct. And what we've done is we've installed a traditional vent on one side and a fire and ember safe vent on the other. And what this has is an intumescent coating over a 1/4-inch honeycomb. When the radiant heat gets to a certain temperature, each one of those individual cells close off and they create a firewall.
Really? About how much heat?
It's right between 575 and 615 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wow, that's pretty hot. So the idea of that is to stop the flames from going in under the soffit and coming out into the attic.
Correct. And what we have back here is a simulated attic.
So I see the plywood represents the sheathing underneath the roof shingles.
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's see how these work.
All right.
Well, there it is.
Gas is on. We're simulating a wildland fire event. A lot of times you'll see this happen when a fire is coming in. It hits the outside of the structure, and then it creates its own little weather pattern, starts rolling up the soffit.
I see the white smoke on that side.
There it is. That's the intumescent coating sealing off on each one of those
honeycombs? Closing them up.
Correct. What you will see is that because this vent over here is going to create a firewall, so there won't be any oxygen. Over here on this vent, on a traditional vent, there will be oxygen.
So the fire's getting into the attic?
Absolutely.
Can we see that on the other side?
Let's go take a look.
Oh, wow, look at that.
So as you can see, right now in this wildland fire event, on this side over here, this is turned into a 1-hour firewall. You're not gonna get any flame, zero radiant heat transfer. The home that would have a traditional vent, you're getting flame penetration.
So you're getting flame right there into the attic under the soffit, and it's gonna start, you can see that sheathing is starting to burn.
Correct.
Wow, that's amazing. Wow, Brett, I was really impressed by this simulation and showing how these vents work in the soffit to stop the embers and the heat from going into the house.
I couldn't believe it as well. This is the first time I've seen it actually take place, and I'm really impressed with how they closed off. And we're installing these same vents right here in the foundation. I'd love to show you how these are installed.
All right.
This is that flashing paper that goes on the bottom.
Yep, same stuff you use around windows and doors.
Yep. So we just place it right to the bottom of the vent. Okay, now we'll get the right measurement that we had on the other one.
Okay.
Watch your fingers.
Yep. All right, that looks good.
Yeah, we just got a little bit of blocking to do around each one of these vents from the inside, and they'll be ready for stucco.
All right, great, thanks.
One of the other projects we're following is the Guevaras. Jose and Anna lived right here for 14 years before the fire, and they are determined to come back. So, this is exciting, right?
Yes.
Very. How does that feel to see the progress?
Very exciting.
Yeah?
It's awesome.
So let's talk about what was here. Describe the old house to me.
So it was a about 1,420, 30 square feet-ish, estimate around there. 3-bedroom, 2 full bath, living room, kitchen, dining, and kind of a bonus room in the back.
Yep.
You know, nice, cozy, quaint little house. I mean, we fell in love with it when we moved here 14 and a half years ago.
And Anna served your guys' needs for, you know, kids were raised here, growing
Yes.
up, school, the whole deal, it all worked.
Yes.
Yep.
And so what's going in?
A 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I'm most excited about the open concept with the kitchen being open, with the bar, you know, the countertop, yeah, to where we can just all gather around that, and then a dining room, so.
So did you enjoy the planning process?
Yes.
Did you enjoy sort of planning the new house, thinking about what it's going to be like when it's rebuilt?
Yeah, it was exciting because you get to plan to meet your family's needs and accommodate when we have the family over for holidays.
And as you look out right now, what do you see?
I just see the